Hello, good evening. Welcome to the June episode of Your Questions Answered. I'm Michael, KB9VBR.
And I'm Joe, KD9CJX. Good evening and happy Pride Month, I guess.
Yes, it is Pride Month.
It's also Dairy Month. So you get like drag queens and cheese.
There we go.
Sounds like a winning deal.
There's plenty of cheese involved in a drag show, so.
Oh, whoa! And right away we are off the rails.
Oh man, it's going to be one of those shows. So yeah. Let's start this over. Thanks for joining us and welcome. Oh, the chat's starting to fill up here. It looks like people are kind of filing in. I got some good questions already queued up, but so we will end up with a full show. But please leave your questions in the chat, and we'll try to get to as many of them as we can. And I see let's see. I see a few people I want to say hi to. 45 Auto. I know he's vacationing down in southwestern Wisconsin this month.
There we go.
Get some Babcock Hall ice cream. I love that stuff. That is the best ice cream there is. When we go to Madison to visit my daughter and son-in-law, that's it's always a trip to the Union.
So. Oh boy. So the Union was it Union Terrace that had some chairs stolen in the 1970s.
They have them stolen all the time. When I was in college, I know at least 2 or 3 people that had terrace chairs in their dorm rooms, and I doubt those chairs made it back to the.
Were they named Michael?
No, okay. I did not have one.
So apparently there was like a chair within someone's garage.
Yes.
And they turned it in like, yeah, we stole it 40 years ago. And they're like, well, we'll give you a warning. I'm sure it's like a pastime for all UW students.
Yeah, it certainly is. So, well, let's see. We got Andrew from Maryland. Good evening. And Mike from, I think that's Texas. That's a 5 call.
So. Put $1 on that. It could be New Mexico, but I'm pretty sure it's Texas.
It could be. I think New Mexico's a 7, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, it could be Mississippi, Louisiana, or Arkansas, though.
There you go.
Mike from across the river. And, of course, Martin there from Delaware. In fact, Martin, I got your card. And it's on my pile up. I got a bunch of them I got to send out. So this will be going in the mail in the next couple of days. So
hey, the one thing that's not going up in price, stamps.
You don't notice it anymore.
No.
It's just everything is
the last time I sent anything out, not in a while.
Yeah. Kevin from Utah, good to see you there. So let's see. And Mimi says, what's the best way to learn Morse code for the certification? I'm guessing if you're not in the US, you must not be in the US because we don't need Morse code for the test anymore. But I would recommend
Farnsworth method.
Farnsworth or the Koch method. Right. are the two that are the most popular. The Long Island CW Club uses the Koch method for KOCH for teaching Morse code.
Is it Koch or is it Cook?
Koch is KOCH.
Okay.
So
I always thought it was Cook, but
Koch.
Yeah,
I don't know. So you might want to check one of those resources out.
Probably better than the Berlitz method.
Yeah, there we go.
If you can read, you can do CW.
You can do CW. Chris from Pennsylvania. So, oh yeah, Oklahoma's in 5-land also. Yep, that's another one. So
okay, yep, there we go.
Get all our
central part of the U.S.
Yeah, yeah, and then I think like New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, Washington, Oregon, Idaho. Montana.
Northwest is 6, south is 7, right? Oh,
yeah.
No, California.
Only California is 6.
Yeah, everything else is.
Yeah. So everything west is 7, and then south, and then south central is 5, and
Yeah.
So
And then upper Midwest is 0, west of the
Yep.
Mississippi. Yep.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Minnesota, you're all zeros.
Yeah. Oh man.
And that's when the war started. Yep. Brad says New Mexico is 5 as well. So
yeah. Oh, is New Mexico? Okay.
see, I told you, but Arizona's a 10.
So, all right. What? Alan wants to know what our field day plan is, so we're gonna get to that in a little bit. So
okay. Yeah.
We'll save that in a few minutes.
We got plans. We certainly have plans.
So okay, hopefully, I think we answered Mimi's question. So if you look, so.
But yeah, he's looking for the basic license, which I don't think is anywhere in North America. Is that is basic UK maybe in England or
UK is called the first level is the foundation level. Yeah.
We'll find out. Mimi, let us know where you're at.
Yeah. So that'll kind of give us a clue. All right, we got a couple questions I sort of pulled out here. So see if I can figure this one out. Is there a way to read call signs? What can you tell from purely looking at it? I did a video on that, on call signs, and to kind of explain, because in the U.S., typically, a call sign is made up of 3 parts. It's your prefix, which is going to be either K, N, W, or AA through AK, L, AL, and then the number will indicate the call sign region in which the license was issued, and then your suffix that can be either 2 or 1, 2, or 3 letters long, depending on the class of the license. And
so you used to be able to tell a lot more by a call sign. So, for example, if you have a WN, that used to be a novice call, right?
Yep.
So now if you see someone with a 1x2 or a 2x1 call, meaning 1 letter in the prefix, 2 letters in the suffix, or 2 letters in the prefix and 1 in the suffix, you can be assured that they are an extra, because it's probably also a vanity call, because they don't issue those sequentially. So if you got one of those, it's a vanity call and it's an extra. The number, as we were talking about, is the location where the license is issued. For example, if you have a 9 call in the United States, it's either Wisconsin, Illinois, or Indiana.
Correct.
The last 3 letters are generally sequential.
Yep.
Right. So I've known people that take the test at the same time. Husband and wives have taken the test at the same time, then they have KD9 KSS, KD9 KST, it's or HST and HSS, they're sequential. So it's always weird. You can actually look if you send in a test, VE packet, and you look on the website, you can kind of figure out where they're going to be. Based on what the last licenses were issued. So but you can decode a lot of it, a lot of things. And if you see older calls like a W9, those calls could have been issued. Well, actually, they were issuing W9s back in the 30s and 40s. Okay, so that's probably not a reissued one. That's probably a vanity call.
So many of the 1x3s these days are vanity calls, so it's really hard to say their age anymore, because so many people are getting vanity call signs. So.
Right, but I can also tell you that KB9VBR was a license that was issued in the late 90s. That's when they were issuing the KBs. That's a sequential one. The KDs have been issued in the KD9s, I should say, have been issued in 9 land probably since 2000 and
probably about 2011,
2012, because I got mine in 2014, and that was a KD9C. So I think it's about 2012, 2011 there. So, and we're just about through the 80s in the 9 band.
Yes.
So it takes about 10 years for an area of this size to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, because we don't have the density like in the 4s or 6 out in California where they go really, really
Real quick.
really
Exactly.
quick. So
Exactly. So
okay. I threw a link to the video in the chat that's call signs explained, and hopefully you can watch that at your leisure later, and that'll explain more in depth of how the US call signs are created. So
right. Well,
okay.
that's a good one to definitely take a look. It's a quickie, but it's a good one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Marky says, greetings from Ocean City, Maryland. Have you ever operated canoe or kayak?
No, because I would tip that right over.
Rowboat. Oh, I got a bug in here. Oh, jeez. Rowboat is about it for Maritime Mobile for me.
Right.
So.
Can I get one of those little paddle boats for the pedals?
There we go.
You can't really tip those over.
Well, maybe you can do that when you're in Belize.
Oh,
so. Pedal boat.
You're letting the cat out of the bag there a little early, aren't you?
Well, I can't help it. You've got your Jimmy Buffett on today. So
hey, no. This is Belize. It's Jerry Jeff Walker. Let's get that right. We got a visitor here. The cat is showing up.
Maybe
we got another visitor. My daughter is showing up. Say hi. There you go. It's the first time on the show, so. But no, so it is official. Beginning next week, I'll be operating for a week as Victor 31 Juliet X-ray from Ambergris Key in Belize. Unless something comes up in the next 36 hours here, I'll be on a plane Saturday morning. We'll get down there Saturday afternoon, and then hopefully by Monday I'll be able to set up and operate, depending on weather. It's going to be holiday style, right? Whenever you feel like it. Now I'll be out on the key. There are a couple park entities out there. The boundaries are a little. I haven't found them yet. I even asked the guy who handles the park entities for Belize, and he says, I don't know. I'm like, okay, well, then that gives me a little leeway, maybe. Maybe if I go close to the dots where it is, and I'm going to work that, and we're going to just kind of play it by ear. But in the spirit of things, we're going to get it as close as we can, right? So be listening. I will make sure to spot on the POTA.app page as well as the Facebook page. Okay. So I'll have Wi-Fi when I'm at the condo. And then, but once I get out, I won't have Wi-Fi. So we're just going to have to, play it by ear. And if I know I'm going to go out the next day, I will schedule it on there as well. Ooh, you're going to zoom in there, huh?
I'm going to zoom in there because Belize is
closer,
right there, just east of Guatemala.
Yes. So, and we're going to be in Ambergris Key. So go up a little, go north, and then right there you see San Pedro. There you go, right out there.
There it is. There's the K.
So I did get my email from the Utilities Board or Utilities Commission of Belize that they reissued the call sign. So I am looking forward to that. Haven't got the license in the mail yet. I'll probably get that in August based on the mail time around here. So another thing to know is that the license in Belize, if you are a U.S. amateur, the cat's barking here. If you are a U.S. amateur, $20, you can get a reciprocal license, no test required. Okay. If you have a technician or general license, I believe you get a Victor 3-2 call sign, and you are limited to VHF and UHF. If you have an extra call sign, then you get a Victor 3-1, and that allow you HF privileges. So Looking forward to it. I will have the 897, and I will have a Wolf River Coil Soda, the 10 through 40, and I'm primarily going to stick to 20 and above. 2017, 15, 10. We're going to stick right there. We'll keep it simple. I'm going to have fun.
There you go.
That's it. I'm not. I will return QSL. In fact, I got a picture. Michael doesn't know it, but he's going to be doing a QSL card for me.
We'll get you a card created. So
yeah, we'll get a card created, and we'll do it. We'll make a good time of it. I haven't made cards in a long time. In fact, I've never made cards. So I'll probably have to make some regular ones too, and we'll just use the same picture.
There you go.
I thought about using the dogs, but you can't get all three dogs to sit at the same time for a picture. There's a lot of Photoshop involved to get to do that. They're oh, did I say that out loud? Sorry.
You know, WEC Fields always said that I'll never work with children or animals. So
WEC Fields is dead. Look at where we're at, right?
Yeah, that's right. Let me give a shout out here to Dave. Thank you so much. It's greatly appreciated. Congratulations on 50,000. Thanks for being good friends. Dinner's on me. So, Dave, I think we're going to have a barbecue and invite you over. Holy smokes. So,
actually, I think Dave is throwing a barbecue next month, if I'm right. If you're a Wisconsin resident, the Remote Repeater Association is celebrating their 50th anniversary next month.
Yes.
And I think they're going to have a couple things, a banquet. They're going to have a few other things. I know they're having a fox hunt because they've already asked me about my foxes.
Okay.
So, which reminds me, I got to go find the foxes.
Well,
I think I know where I lent them to. And I'll get those rounded up. And then I think that's going to be over like around the first week of July, if I remember right.
Sounds good.
I haven't been on the nets yet. We remember the unfortunate incident that happened in January, the fire. I really haven't put the shack back together.
And now it's summertime, and you're going to be too busy.
Right, yeah. I'll be making the money to fix the shack is what's probably going to happen. I've collected some things for the for antennas and stuff. In fact, I got to show you this. Big old stainless steel box.
Oh, gee, look at that. Holy, it's got insulator on it, too.
Nope. That's a connector. But there's a backboard in there, right? So that panel, so I can mount polyphasers on it for grounding, and I put this outside.
All right.
Oh, that thing weighs a ton. I got to take the junk out of it. So I got my grounding set up. I think I can get 3 polyphasers for sure in there. I think it's
at least
it's a 10 by 12 box. And really, I think only 3. I really only need 3 antennas. I need my VHF, UHF dual band.
Yep.
Vertical, and the long wire is what I'm going to have. So 3 polyphasers, I think, is great. We'll ground it out there, tie that in with the ground rod for the electrical system. Tie it all together. My grounding outside, because that's where you want to do it, is outside for antennas. Bring that all in, and I think I may have mentioned it. I have an amp now. I came across an Ameritron AL811. Needs new tubes. I got to find a set of 811s. But that's a nice amp. It's like 600 watts max. And so it's not it's not a flamethrower by any means, but 600 watts, runs off 120 volts, doesn't require to run a new outlet, which, obviously new outlet, no problem for me, right? But I'm looking forward to having just a little extra kick when it's needed.
There you go. Keep your feet warm. Keep your feet warm.
Well, it's on the desk. Oh. I have a heater under the desk to keep my feet warm in the winter.
There you go. All right. So I got a couple other questions here. So some people have been asking about licensing, about tests. So I'll start with Gary here. A question is, how hard is the test?
How hard do you want to make it?
Yeah, I guess that's probably the answer is how hard you want to make it. I mean, it's 35 questions, multiple choice on rules and regulations, operating procedures, modes of operation, safety, and basic electronics.
Mm-hmm.
So
a little technical stuff in there.
Yeah.
The
And
technician
a lot of people
test isn't bad. I always say it's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
We teach the technician test in the weekend. Okay. If you've looked at it, had a little bit of time, you've kind of like gone through the book once or twice, you have a lot of questions, you come to a weekend cram class, I can teach it to you in about 10 hours over 2 days. And 98% everyone passes if they take the class. I see people that just kind of sort of cram with the online tests and stuff. They pass as well with a technician. So the technician is not that bad. A little math. Even if you're not good at math, you can probably wing it.
It's like junior high math. So
yeah, it's junior high math.
Yeah.
And I'm not like trying to oversimplify that. It's about where it's at. It's like pre-algebra at most.
Yep.
And I think for the general, the math is probably about the same level.
Mm-hmm.
You don't, no, I take that back. Last time I looked at the general, I think there's a little trig in it. Okay. There's a little trig. The general isn't that bad either, but I say this, it's not that bad if you had your technician for a year or two.
If you have your technician and you kind of grow into it, the general is definitely it's obtainable. And I think everybody I know that's waited anywhere from 3 months to a year before taking the general have always passed it. So
exactly, you get the technician, get on the air. Doesn't matter how. It doesn't matter how much money you spend. You can spend next to nothing and just get on the air with something, make some contacts, make some repeater contacts, learn a little bit, listen, use both of your ears. And then some of those odd questions about operating procedures and technical stuff become a little bit easier, right? There's a little more advanced math. Like I said, there's a little trig. I always teach the tricks about the math, especially when it comes to like Kirchhoff's law. There's the Kirchhoff's laws questions where you're like, if you have 3 capacitors in series versus 3 capacitors in parallel, it's real easy to figure out what the answer is without using a calculator. But it requires you to understand how Kirchhoff's law works. And then when you get into the questions about impedance based on reactance and resistance, those, if you understand how it works, you don't need to use trigonometry. You can you pretty much pick them out. But if you don't understand that, so I teach how it works, then I teach you how to cheat.
That's really the way to do it for the test.
Right. Like again, I have a background in electrical work. I've taken a year of AC theory and DC theory. I can regurgitate some of this stuff. Eli the Iceman, voltage leads current, or voltage lags current in a system. I can go down that rabbit hole, but do you really need it? No.
I think, for the technician test, if we're talking math, as long as you sketch out Ohm's law on your scratch paper before the test begins, when after you put away your notes and whatnot, you sketch out Ohm's law, you'll be fine.
Right. So I do the circle and the circle, Ohm's law, and power law, and I tell everyone, the first thing you do when you get that piece of scratch paper, regurgitate it right out there. Write it down, and if I don't see it on there, you're going to fail. And everyone writes it down, and everyone passes. So
There you go.
Yeah.
And 45 says, I brought a calculator for the technician test, never needed it either for the technician or the general. And I don't think, I remember having a calculator too, and I don't remember actually punching numbers into it, but
Right.
Mhm.
Well, like I said, but take the technician and take some time to get on the air and get an Elmer. Find someone that you can work with.
Yep.
Someone that'll let you come down to the shack and listen and maybe get on the air on HF a little bit too.
Yeah.
That helps so much because
Oh, absolutely.
you hear these things and they, tell you the right answer, but until you can put them into perspective, you really don't know, right?
Yeah.
So
And Richard wants to remind us the tech license pool resets on July 1st. So so now you got less than 30 days if you want to get your technician license and use the pool you've been studying. You better find a testing session.
as far as I know, the pool doesn't change that much this year for the tech.
It never does. It's
Well,
maybe
the
10% of the questions. So
the last time they did the extra, it was wholesale changes. But there
yeah.
was stuff from there was some electronic stuff from the 70s and 80s that's so outdated they had to throw it out. TTL transistor logic, some other things. They leave some tube stuff in there, but they're focusing more and more and more on digital modes
Mm-hmm.
because everyone's running digital modes right now. I
Yep.
think digital modes are going to die off a little bit now that the sun cycle is starting to get better, and we can actually talk again, right? But
Yeah.
realistically, they did that, but they needed to do that on the extra, I think. But sooner or later, they're going to make some big changes on the general and the tech, I think, but not this year. So,
Yeah. No, exactly. So I think I had one more question. Let's see about the test. I think that's probably it. So, but 45 Auto wants to know is, do you either go to Hamvention or will you be going to Hamcation?
yeah.
So
I have a Hamcation coming up next week.
You've got a Hamcation next
Right?
week. I did not go to Hamvention. In fact, the both of us, we were up north that weekend helping out with an event, providing communication support. Hamcation, February in Orlando. Maybe that's something we should consider.
Tempting.
So,
Very tempting. One of these years, we should do Hamvention. We should go to Dayton, right? I think that would be interesting. We'd meet a lot of you folks out there. That's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I would probably hit the Swap Fest. I would probably hit that hard. In fact, my chief financial officer would probably have to have a sit down work rule discussion with me in regards to what can and cannot happen at the Swap Fest. Oh, wait, you have one of those little credit card swipey things on your cell phone?
Bingo.
I
have one of those. I use one of those when I'm selling antennas at a ham fest, and
right.
sometimes that makes the sale. It says, guy opens up his wallet. He's spent at the tailgate, and he goes, "Oh, I take credit and debit cards." Right. Sold.
The world is a changing place. If there's a sale to be made, you can make the transaction.
Yeah.
Yep. But I think, first of all, I don't know how many antennas you could actually take down, like pre-make and take down there. It'd all be like pre-orders, right?
Mm-hmm.
But second of all, do you really want to spend 3 days sitting at a ham fest when you have everything going on? All the presentations, meet all the other vendors. I don't think you'd want to do that. If we go down there, it'd be great to have a table. They have a nice meet and greet, but we want to experience it too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
and that's the problem I always have when I did ham fests, is that I'd set up my table, and the nice thing is people all came to me. So, I talk to people all day long. They stop at the table and we chat and chat. And I sell a few antennas, but I never get to go around and see everything else, or take in any of the roundtables or things like that. So yeah, I think you're right. If we're gonna do a big one like Hamvention, it's just gonna be walk around.
We'll go incognito, put the hood up, sunglasses, because the paparazzi, right?
Not with the camera crew.
Right. Well, it'll be like Hard Knocks Ham Radio. You and me. We'll have like a camera crew following us.
Yeah,
and it'll be ugly.
Jeff wants to know, what about Huntsville? You want to go to Alabama in August?
I'm not allowed in Alabama. We can't get into that. Sorry, great state. Can't go there.
Can't go there. I was thinking about it. That would be a fun one to go to. So I'd have to put that one on the calendar too, because that's a big show. So
right. So the big three is Dayton, Hamcation, Huntsville. Those are like the big ones. And then there's one out in California. Is it Pacificon or
Pacificon? Yeah. Yep. And that's in the winter months. It's like
I think that'd be more expensive. If anything, we would do Dayton, I think, because that's the closest for us.
Yep.
Like we can drive there in a day.
Yep.
I think Orlando is a 2-day drive. Huntsville is a 2-day drive. Probably 3 days for us to get out anywhere on the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you guys want to start a huge one of like between Chicago and Minneapolis, we're game.
There we go. All right, so let's kind of move on here. We're kind of at the end of the first half of the show, so we're just
got to thank our friends here.
Yeah, we got to thank our friends here, the people that help keep the wheels, turning over on the channel. So I'm going to welcome some of our new patrons, because we've got some new, we've got some people that are, let's see, new here. On the friends side is Douglas Rader. And then we also have some supporters that signed on in this last month: Greg, Brent Wells, and Joseph Anthony. So thank you so much for our friends and supporters over on Patreon. And then also just want to want to acknowledge our associate producers, Dave, Paul, David, Brian, Rand, and Jack. They're the ones that go over and above in helping with the show, keep us, keep everything going, and the lights on over here. So thank you so much for your support. And you can
I'm the one who keeps your lights going, okay?
You can support the mission to educate and inspire over at patreon.com/KB9VBR antennas. And also there's also one more way that, if you find the channel and the content of the channel valuable, there's now a little button called thanks. Right below the video screen. It looks like a heart, and I think it looks like a heart or something like that.
I don't have that view here. I got like the assistant key grip view down here.
Yeah. So, and that's one other way. So, and that is it. I am not going to talk about money anymore for the rest of the broadcast. So, thank you so much for your support.
He's gonna go into like NPR telethon mode in about 5 minutes.
Maybe we need tote bags.
There we go. We got to get some like 100% recycled tote bags.
Yeah.
With our faces on it. That'd be great.
If people want them, if people want tote bags, I will see about getting tote bags.
I think we have better luck just getting toilet paper into porta potties, okay? This row of TV brought to you by KB9VBR.
I do have stickers. So if you're interested, these I got a whole bunch of these little ones. I bought like 1,000 of them. So if we work over the air and you QSL, you'll get some stickers. If we don't work over the air and you want some stickers, drop me a self-addressed stamped envelope. My call sign is over at QRZ.com, and we'll get you some stickers. So
if you're outside the United States, send us one with a couple green stamps, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah. If it's international, throw a green stamp in there, and we'll get it back to you so you can have some KB9 VBR swag. So.
We thought about doing hats once, but they were going to be red, and they're going to say "Make ham radio great again."
There we go.
Someone took the idea.
And it just.
Have you ever heard of something like that before?
It just didn't work out.
We were going to sue for copyright infringement. And then it went downhill from there.
Jesse's having a good time, so thank you for your, thanks for your comments. So we got Eric I'm guessing in Madison. So go Badgers.
We've done the Madison Ham Fest, which is not in Madison.
It's in Stoughton.
Right.
So.
That's a lie. But of course, Dayton's not in Dayton anymore. It's in Xenia.
Yeah.
But we've been down there. That was a day that I came back with a box of free stuff. Because at ADA Ham Fest, if I don't come back with a bunch of free radios. So I go to this table, and the guy's got some old Motorola's. I looked at them, and that was about 9:30. And about 10:30, I circled again, and they were still sitting there, and he wanted like $20 for all of them. And about 11:30, just like everything had been like raffled off already. This is the time where you strike, guys, because all the raffles are done. People are starting to pile out. Well, what's going on with these radios here? Oh, just take them. I don't want to bring them back. In fact, take the 10-gallon tote that they're in. I like your price, sir. 10 minutes later, I got a cart. Works.
Speaking of that, we did get a question here. Do you have any tips for attending Ham Fest?
I just gave you my golden tip, guys. What more do you want?
Wait until and that probably is the best one. Is don't leave until 11:30 noon when you see vendors starting to pack up. That's the time to strike, because you can get some good deals that way.
So if it starts at 8 and at 8:05, you're already got the telescopic eyes on something. You're going to overpay for it, and you're going to regret it. Or you're going to lose it, and you're going to regret it. So, Mike, KB9DED on here, he's always got to be there before 8 o'clock, right? So much so, sometimes he pretends he's a vendor. When I say that he buys a table, he puts some stuff out. He might sell one of them, but the only reason he's getting a table is because he wants to get there an hour early. Bless your heart, Mike.
Well, sometimes he's borrowed.
Tactic. It's really
sometimes he borrows my table, which works too.
So cheap, so he borrows Michael's table.
Well, but I like that, because then he helps me carry in gear, and I got somebody to sit at the table so I can do a stroll.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and Mike had sold a couple of antennas for you. Don't get me wrong; he's a good salesperson. So he's just not the VBR. No.
Yeah. I mean, other things is go in with open eyes. Know what you're. If there's if there's a lot of times, if something is priced too good to be true, it probably is. If something is priced like the person really, thinks it's a one-of-a-kind item, it probably isn't. Right. So you can do better. Yeah. Sometimes I'll look, if I see something I'm interested in and I'm not sure about the price, I might pull up my phone and see what they're going for online. That gives me a kind of an indicator of market strength. And then you can use, you can make a decision for yourself if it's worth it or not to try to haggle with the person.
Remember, eBay prices are always way more than what you should spend at a ham fest.
They are. Yes. So give it the smell test. If it stinks like cigarette smoke, if it smells like burnt electronics, don't even bother.
Yep.
Because it's not
unless you're planning on doing a complete restoration on it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, if
Then you better
yeah.
pay. You'd be getting it for a couple bucks.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
No, I totally agree with that. Second thing, set a budget. If you're going to come with cash, don't hit the ATM.
Exactly.
If you're going to come with cash, make sure you remember which pocket you put it in too, right? Right, Mike? Mike's got the other whatever works.
Whatever works.
I can tell you, we've known Mike for years, and you go with Mike to a ham fest, it's always going to be a good time because either going to be the deal of the century or there's going to be some drama. I don't care. Just go to a ham fest with DED. You'll love it. And then he'll show you the truck too. If you ever see DED at a truck, he's got the only Dodge Suburban known to man. It's got radios in it. It's great. I love the thing. But another thing too is that go in mind of what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Is there something particular you're looking for? And then kind of like you got to set rules for yourself, right, guys? Mm-hmm. You know, I've seen a lot of cool things I would like to bring home, but I knew up here. Down here, they all need to come over.
Here. We don't need it.
I don't need another one, or I don't need a fifth one. So
there are things that always catch my eye, and I'll seriously look at, and may pick up regardless. One of them are TNCs. If I see a TNC, if it's one that I like good PK12s, KPC3 pluses, things like that, and the price is tiny trackers. If the price is right, if someone's got a KPC3 for $150, it's, but if I see one for $25, then
I'll buy those all day.
I'll buy those all day long. And I have bought those, before
And TNCs are great. So, me and Michael don't do a lot of packet or our APS is all automated with our radios. But I've loaned out more TNCs than I can remember. Yep. I think I've probably given one or two away. You want to you're getting into APRS or you're getting into packets. You want to build a small digipeater. Here you go. Mm-hmm. Take care of that. I probably got a Motorola over here too. You can take with that, right? And it's just get it out in the community. Let someone else use it. TNCs for $25. Grab them. It doesn't matter which brand they are, except those old pack rats. Don't bother with those.
Oh, I got a PK 232s I know those are good too, but the old pack rats are. Mm-hmm.
Right. But there's other things too out there. Small accessories. There's always one vendor that does the small accessories, the power poles and this and that. The little things that you kind of need.
Oh, yeah.
You got a project you're thinking about, always hit those guys up. Batteries America. They're a Wisconsin vendor. They're usually at the bigger ham fests. If you ever need a battery for a HT that is impossible to find, or if you find them, they're on eBay and they're from China. No, just go to Batteries America. Those guys will set you up. Love those guys.
Yeah.
What else are we missing?
What did it say here? Let's see. I thought somebody had put something in the chat on there, but no, I guess they didn't. Mm-hmm. The other things I like, I'll see if I see a good deal on like a key. If I see a good deal on tuners, manual tuners, I've picked up one or two, that way.
Test gear, a good multimeter. Old scopes. You always see old scopes for like $50 or $100 if you don't have a scope and you want to start learning a little bit more about electronics. Mm-hmm. Take $40, $50, go to a ham fest, you'll probably find a scope.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So. Other weird things I've seen at ham fest. Junk computers. There's always junk computers, right? And there's always old GPSs. Not like the GPS that you can use for APRS, but like the old Garmin navigators, right?
Yeah. 90s era GPSs. Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
That's the kind of stuff that's the stuff I just stay away from. So
and there's always a guy making hats if you want your hat. with your
hats
call
and,
sign.
and little badges. So all right. So hopefully that gives you some direction on where to go for your next Hamfest shopping adventure.
Mhm.
All right. Somebody was asking about antennas here. Charlie asked, Chameleon Impasse or Wolf River Coil?
I have a strong feeling on this, but you go ahead, Michael.
I'm gonna say I've used the Impasse too. Now we're gonna talk about the vertical. Well, we'll talk about the Impasse vertical because we want to keep it apples to apples. And in that comparison, I will go Wolf River Coil over the Impasse. I've always had better luck with the Wolf River over the Chameleon product. I think it just has a little bit. It seems like the loaded coil is a little bit more efficient than the transformer style antenna. So.
Yeah. So the Impasse with the cap hats, if you want to do 160, only way to go, right? And actually cap hat and do 80 as well. You can do the 80 with the Wolf River coil with the big coil. It's pretty fussy, but if you're 40 and up, then by all means, I think the Wolf River coil is going to beat the Impasse hands down.
Yeah. Yes.
The only thing is that you're probably the Wolf River coil, you need some sort of analyzer. With the Impasse, you just need a tuner.
You just need a tuner because you're always gonna get a decent match.
Right.
Yeah. So that is true. So,
but I've used both as well, and I'm particular to the Wolf River coil.
Yep. Exactly. And somebody was asking about yes, Charlie wants to know, have you tried one with more than one radial? And 6 radials, 15 feet long. So, and I think he was talking about with the Impasse antenna. The Impasse comes with one counterpoise, and if you add more, it does improve its performance. You just get a little bit better ground plane, and I found that too. I've been using with my Wolf River coil, I've been using a little bit different ground radial network. I've been using for the longest time. I've been using just the 3 radials with the 33 feet, and I've shortened them down to 8 radials, 16 feet long, and that is really performance-wise. I think it's pretty close to a equivalent, but it makes the setup so much easier with the shorter radials. Even though there's more of them, I got them bundled together so they spread out really quick and easy, and it just sets up faster.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Again, I'm a Scotty too, and don't get me wrong. I'm not saying anything bad about Chameleon at all.
No,
they've been great to us as well. I think they make a very sturdy product, but they catch everything with their product. And I think sometimes catching everything with their product doesn't allow them to focus to be a little better on a few things.
Well,
and I think that's where Wolf River coil does their thing.
Yeah. It's the Wolf River coil is just a little bit more specific in its use case, but I think and this is something I made a note before coming onto the live stream tonight to talk about Chameleon antennas, and I found that Chameleons they seem to have a certain design philosophy to cover the widest number of bands with good performance,
right?
And it may not be the most efficient, but it's probably going to be the most versatile antenna system that you have. Because they're like building blocks. You got your transformer unit, you got your vertical, you got your wires. You can mix and match, do what you want, do the whips, do the and it's like the Lego. It's the Lego of the antenna world, and you're going to get.
Well, to be fair, everyone uses the 3/8 by 16 screw, right?
Yeah,
so you can put them all together.
Yep. Yeah, and so these multiple, and you're always going to get good performance. I'm not going to say outstanding. I'm not going to say spectacular. It's always going to be good performance, and people are happy with them and they're satisfied, and they're good antennas because of this level of versatility that's sort of built into the system. But sure enough, I do a video and I'm using a Chameleon product. What's the first thing somebody says? Well, why don't you use a more efficient antenna? This is well, maybe I want to use an antenna that's easy to set up and it does what I need it to do. So.
And the Chameleon antennas are very easy to set up.
Yep.
Right. There is no sitting around thinking around tuning it. You set it up, you have a tuner, and you go.
Exactly.
But remember, every antenna is a compromise. How far do you want to compromise? So you get multi-band performance or really good performance on one or two bands. That's the key.
Yep. Every single antenna is a compromise in some way, shape, or form, and people forget that. They want to, what would be the perfect antenna? So.
Every antenna is going to radiate regardless of frequency. I've seen guys make antennas make contacts on sheets of Mylar. Right? I've seen guys use bed springs. You can use just about anything that conducts electricity to make contact. How good it's going to work. Yeah.
We should try a Parks on the Air activation with a dummy load.
Oh, what? You're going to make me hold the antenna? Oh, I'll be like the Statue of Liberty. And I'll light right up. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, true dummy load antenna.
It's not at 50 ohms yet. Oh, just change the feed point. Whoa!
Lee wants to know about talk to your thoughts of the MCOM2. Just got one is very good on 40 meters. You find the higher the box, the better performance. Now, Joe, you use the MCOM2.
MCOM3.
MCOM3.
So we installed the MCOM3 in a video once. That's the base version, and I have the portable version. Basically the same thing. The base version is kind of like a bigger box, and I think a little more power handling. But so I think the MCOM3 is a very versatile antenna because you can set it up a lot of different ways, right? 40 meters, I think, is probably its bread and butter band. I think it's 75 foot radiator, 25 foot, 25 foot counterpoise.
Yeah, I think it's 73, 25, something like that. They're both non-resonant figures.
Yeah.
So,
and we had a question that in our in your prep about the 73 foot length.
Yes.
Of the was that the MCOM or was that the
Well, they were just. I think he was just talking about chameleons in general because that's their like the MCOM2, the MCOM3, and I think the difference between the 2 and the 3 is the configuration of the transformer. They still use both the 5-to-1 transformer unit, but it's just a different type of transformer. So the 3 is for portable. The 2 I think could probably work more in a permanent setup. So
the MCOM3 portable is really kind of like an off-center fed dipole.
Yes.
So to the question from Lee getting it higher, yes, I think you because you can also set it up in an inverted V with the transformer on the ground, an inverted V, and then the counterpoise laying out on the ground too. And I've never done that, but I would suspect that you probably get pretty good performance of that too. So I would say your results may vary.
Yeah.
Go with that. But there's a trade-off with the MCOM3 portable. Is that it's very versatile, but the problem is you're winding up 100 feet of 18 gauge wire anytime you deploy it. And that's kind of annoying. But it's in my go bag. Yeah. It's in my go bag and I use it. Because it's versatile. And if I need to get on 80 meters and I'm out camping, there's no other better way to do it.
Exactly.
So that's my TED Talk. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, and I think I've used the MPass in that kind of situation with the transformer low. sort of as a sloper, and then the transformer higher in sort of an inverted L, and the inverted L always works better than the sloper. They say the sloper is probably going to be good for NVIS, near vertical incident, skywave, but but I still think if getting the transformer box up into the air certainly makes a difference with those style of antennas.
I think getting all the wire up in the air makes a lot of difference.
Yep.
Right?
Yes, it does.
If someone can get a MCOM3 portable up in the air 30 feet as a off-center fed dipole, I want to hear how it works. I'm not that flexible to get everything up there like that. I think we've seen some videos of me trying to throw the arborist throw up there, and it looks like something I can't say on the air here, but I want to hear how that works.
Yeah, so we got a couple comments that say, Kevin says, chameleon antennas really do seem to make good performance. Many times the setup time savings makes it worth it.
Right.
Exactly.
If you just want to get out and have fun, that's great. If you got a little more time, but again, I've gotten setting up the Wolf River coil down to a couple minutes. The buddy stick, which I have one. The buddy stick was a bane of mine because you can never set it up the same way twice.
No.
Tuning it just got to the point where I said, I'm kind of done with it. Maybe I'll go back because I thought I had it good, and then I was really hitting it for a while, and then this past year I just I'm done.
Fell apart on you again. Kevin says he recently used the MCOM3 and talked with a VK4 station while camping. So they're good performers. They're good antennas. So
and they're durable. The quality of the build is good. It really is good. And I'm not saying that Wolf River coil is bad, but I'm just saying they're top. It really is a top notch. Everything is machined. Everything is, they market these like military and stuff too. And
mil spec,
right, it's durable stuff. But I'm a little more performance over ease and multiple bands. But then again, I'm a tinkerer too, so there's that.
There you go.
So I think we beat that horse down.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, jeez Louise. I got a question here that came via email, and I think this is a good one to talk about. And who knows, maybe this would grind your gears too, but I know this is not what's the grind your gears topic for tonight. But Michael asked, would you explain the meaning of signal strength during your contacts? That is 5.7. What does that indicate? So, all right. So originally there was the RST signal strength.
We still have RST.
RST, for CW. R is readability, S is strength, and D would be tone, the tone of your signal, and that's for CW contacts. And the readability goes from 1 to 5. The S for strength is typically aligned with what your signal strength meter is doing, your S meter, 1 to 9, etc. And then the tone would be 1 to 9. 9 would be perfect, flawless, beautiful tone, and then 1 would be like heavy chirps or warbles or anything in the middle. So when you're on CW, you would give a signal of report of 599 as a beautiful signal. So move over to phone, and now we just use the R and the S, readability and strength. 1 to 5 for readability, 1 to 9 for strength. 5.9. Everybody's 5.9 in the contest.
Right.
Can you give me your call sign again?
Again?
So
Victor, what?
A 5. A 5 of readability would mean that your signal is clear and readable. I can perfectly understand it.
You pick it up in the first call, right?
Yeah, pick it up in the first call. And then 1 to 9, roughly whatever your signal strength, however, what's your deflection on the signal strength. then we kind of move down from there. You know, you can give them a 4-4, 4-3. You know, a 4 is like, I'm having trouble picking you out, but I can still copy you. You get down to a 3 in readability. You're at or below my noise floor, and we're gonna have to work at this to get to make the contact. And then the worst, yeah, you got 2-2. I think I got you.
Yeah. You're looking at the spot page on POTA.app to see if you really did get them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I go by. So for readability, if I catch you on the first call, or if I'm not paying attention, I gotta catch you again. That's a 5. If I gotta ask you one time to clarify a letter, that's a 4. Ask you 2 times, that's a 3. And if I ask you multiple times, that's probably a 2.
It's probably
but
a 2.
Don't take that as an insult, please.
No.
There are some guys, if you don't give them a 5.9, they get not in a contest setting, because everyone's 5.9 in a contest setting. But
exactly.
Just understand that. Whether you like it or not, everyone's a 5.9 in a contest. Whether it's field day or not parks in the air, but the state contest.
A CUSO party.
CUSO parties. Yeah. Whatever it is, just say 5.9, because we're just trying to do the exchange. Okay.
Yep.
But don't be insulted by it if I give you a 4-4. First of all, I'm usually at a park, and I have a really low noise floor, so S4, S5 is probably coming in booming. Second of all, a 4 isn't bad. I just need to catch one letter. Maybe it's pronunciation. Maybe it's a little bit on the equalizer. I mean, some guys spend a lot of money on their audio chain, and I think that's a lot of money. They're just going, you know. But don't be insulted by it. And you know what? If you dig someone out with a 3-3 and you make the contact, and that's the first time you've had that state or that entity, congratulations. A 3, it's like a doctor who passed all his final exams by 1 point. What do you call him? Doctor. So great. You got Australia for a 3-3. That's perfect. You got
Australia. Yep. That's right. You know, don't sweat the signal reports. It's because it's a good. I mean, it's not a scientific. You know, because it's very qualitative on how we're giving out those numbers. But it kind of tells you, how your signal is getting out to the other stations. So it's like,
I really never, when I do a Parks on the Air, I almost never have a 5.9 received. And most signal strength is 5.7, and I'm pretty honest about the signal strength. I'll go by the S meter. No one's at home. Different story. People are 20 over all the time. But when I'm at a park, you're a 7 at most. But you're booming in. It's real loud. So
usually my 1 to 9 usually depends on how loud that person is in my headphones. So it's. Exactly. So, it's and it's subjective. So, if you can understand a person, they're a 5. Look at the meter. See what the deflection is, and give them a report.
If you're having a good conversation like you and I are right now, that's a 5.
It's a 5. Exactly.
If you kind of got a little bit, that's a 4. If you really got that's a 3. Okay. Go from there.
So Warren says the past weekend was my best. Received was 5.3. The noise floor in 20 had been terrible.
Really? Are you at home? You got something going on? You got LED lights in the area? Ooh. Yeah, you shouldn't. 20 shouldn't be real noisy.
20 has been really kind of crazy the last month or so with the which is just the way in which the solar cycle is developing, beautiful signals, and then everything down, up and down, up and down. If you don't like band conditions, wait 20 minutes, it's going to change. So what's funny was I was out working Sunday, and 40 meters was gangbusters. And I hadn't had beautiful 40 meter signals like that in weeks, months. So it was a weird time propagation wide.
If you don't like it, just change the band, right?
I'll get on 17 meters, and you work stations. They're like their signal's not moving the meter, but it's just perfectly readable.
Right.
So
17 can be so quiet sometimes.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, it's just fun. Get on 17 sometimes,
Mhm.
folks.
It's a
You
fun
can't
band.
contest on it, but you can park some of the air on it. You can do other
Yep.
things on it, or just call CQ on 17 and just have a good time, because there's no one else up there.
Mhm.
It really, I've noticed that on 17. The problem is that sometimes antennas don't play really good if you have them tuned for the
No.
major bands. You know, the work bands sometimes don't always fit in there.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly. So. Eric wants to know, since we're talking about band conditions, any tricks to break through the pileup?
Oh, I see
And
a video on this.
I thought I did one on pileups.
Mhm.
I thought we talked about this once before. Um, I'll have to look quick, but I think the key is I think number one key to breaking the pileup is to listen 1 or 2 rounds to see how the station is managing the pileup, how
Mhm.
they're working the pileup. Because once you kind of hear them, kind of work through things, are they tail enders? Are they picking people first? Are they all over the place? Are they trying to grab as many as they can and
Mhm.
then work those people? And once you kind of understand how the person is working the pileup, then you can kind of get in there and make it through the pileup. It's some of these pileups have been horrendous, and
Mhm.
the people with the amplifiers are the ones that always seem to float to the top, but not always the case.
No.
I think it's what I usually do is you know, if they're tail enders, maybe wait a half a second to kind of
Mhm.
just sort of stretch your call out a little bit.
Mhm.
If they're picking people at the beginning, try to get in there right away to at least try to get your prefix in, um, and just and give it, try one. If one thing doesn't work, try the other thing. But just sort of, be patient with it. If you can't, after about 4 or 5 times, you can't get through, um, just give it, go walk away and then come back in 5-10 minutes, and the whole um, composition of the pileup may have changed, and
Mhm.
you'll find an open spot. So,
The band
you know,
conditions will change too.
and band conditions will change too. Yes, exactly. But I've seen pileups. I've seen people that have pushed through. There'll be a pileup, and I'll be on the receiving end of a pileup, and I'll have I'll be pounded for like, you know, 5 or 10 minutes, and then things will shift a little bit, and then all of a sudden it just drops out of the floor, and then
Right.
maybe that's your opportunity. All the big guns have left, and
Mhm.
to jump in there. So
And another thing too to consider is listen what calls the person is picking up. If
yep.
they're picking up a lot of 6 and 7 calls, obviously he's got, that person's got a good, pipeline to the west, right?
Hmm.
If you have a antenna that may be a little directional, maybe you adjust that antenna too.
Yep.
Trim that a little bit to optimize what you have there.
Hmm.
Um, Listening though is kind of the key. Like you said, are they picking up calls at the beginning? Are they picking up later calls?
Yep.
A few other things you can do is you can adjust with your audio processor. You can, a little bit of compression
Some
normally
that
helps.
works. Yep.
Um, the old, like the Kenwood 520s had a DX button. Actually, it was a knob that you pulled out, and that gave a little more oomph in the audio. Basically, it was a compressor as well. But you can play with that a little bit. Don't push your signal so much that you're splattering all over the place. Please
Yeah.
don't do that, guys. That's a naughty.
Just
Uh,
a little bit, just a little bit of compression. Sometimes that just gives you.
yes, a touch, a little bit. But the other thing too, call with authority. With authority, the partner.
No,
Don't be like,
exactly.
don't be like Kilo Delta 9 Charlie Juliet X-ray. No, it's Kilo Delta 9 Charlie Juliet X-ray.
That's right.
Don't scream it, don't overmodulate, but say it with a little authority, with a little oomph. The
What?
one thing, if
Mhm.
I'm going to have a chit chat with you, I don't want a person that's like, have a conversation. Even if we're just exchanging calls, be excited about it.
And
Not
what is it?
overexcited.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Remember what Stephen Colbert always used to say, speak with gravitas. So
cojones.
yeah. And that works a lot. That a lot of times that works. It's say it like you mean it. And
Say it like you're from Texas.
Yeah, because you're a little bit different. I probably shouldn't say this, but sometimes if you're just a little bit off frequency, just enough to change your pitch, that catches their that catches their attention, and
what else is worth 3 dB? A YL voice.
Yeah.
Gets them every time. YL station, go. You will break. If you are a lady or you are a kid, it's a lot easier to break through the pileup. Nothing, gender wise. It's because it's a totally different, audio pitch.
The pitch is different. That's why. It really is.
So ladies can, ladies first, right? So that really is the truth.
And it's just to finish up here, it's 45 Auto says, please adhere to the DX code of conduct. So don't throw your call sign in the middle of a queue. So listen first before you transmit and know how things are going, so you can kind of so that you're not stepping on people, in an existing queue.
You want to know how to not get through? Call before they say QRZ.
That's right.
That operator hears you talking over his current QSO. He ain't going to call you back no matter what, because you're being a lid.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, we're running out of time, and I know we got a couple of things we need to talk about first, but I'm going to grab one more here. Jeff says, "Can you POTA on VHF?"
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna shoehorn that with another thing, because I had a question about somebody said, David asked, what role do technicians play in POTA and SOTA? And I thought that would be excellent. Yes, you can do parks on the air in VHF. It's more challenging because a lot of times parks are in places where you may not be within VHF range of people. So if you've got a handheld radio, you may not be able to get in contact with others unless you're on like a hill or or a mountain or something like that. Summits on the air, of course, people are using handhelds all the time, and try 146.52 and see what happens.
Right. So if you're going to try it with a handheld, your main thing is to be in a high location in a relatively populated area. If you're in a very remote location and you're on 5.2 and it's a lowland, you ain't got anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't be afraid to spot yourself. You can spot yourself for parks on the air. That'll get set out too. I've seen people do it, and that's fine. Now, other things you have 6 meters. You have
6 meters, as I was going to say. Yeah.
You can do parks on the air on those all day. And right now is a great time to do it. Also, you have CW privileges on 15, 40, and 80.
Yep.
Right. If you're doing summits on the air, all those guys are QRP 5 watts CW. Pick up a key and a little backpack CW rig and go out and have fun. So there's a lot of things you can really do with the technician license. Don't let that inhibit you.
6 meter FT8 is going to be heating up now that it's June. You'll see a lot of 6 meter FT8 activity.
See a lot of 6 meter sideband too.
So, and if you work on something,
was it 50.125 is the calling frequency?
50.125 upper sideband.
Yep. Just keep your dial posted there. You'll hear a lot of a lot of stuff now in the next couple months.
Yeah, and then of course technicians have the 10 meter band. 10's heating up, and then like you said, code on 15, 40, and 80 meters. So that's, and I've seen there's guys that have been getting into technicians 40 meter CW and have been doing really well. POTA activations. So it's it's a little challenging, but very, very, very rewarding. All right. I think we need to talk about field day. So
Yes. So,
and then
yeah.
and then that'll get into your special special topic. Well, so first we'll talk about what we're going to do for field day.
Mhm.
And if anybody's got any special field day plans, if you want to throw them in the chat there,
Mhm.
we'll share them. But we're thinking of heading out, way out,
Well, back to where we were last year.
last fall. So
Last year.
well, last year, yeah. So, if you remember our video on Project ELF, the
Yeah.
extremely low frequency
Mhm.
transmitting site in Clam Lake, Wisconsin,
Mhm.
well, we've decided that we are going to set up our field day station on the location of the former ELF site.
Yep, you can find us at 75 hertz. No, we'll be setting up at the former ELF site in south of Clam Lake in the Chequamegon National Forest.
Yep.
We do have permission from the Park Service to go out there. We're working out a few
Forest
other
Service.
details. Forest Service, excuse me.
Yeah.
Working out a few details on how we're going to do that because there's no power out there. There's no facilities. There's no nothing. So it's going to be a true field day, guys. It's in a field. But we're going to get out there. We're going to have a good time. You, me, Travis,
Yep.
WHBG, and we'll have some other friends up there. I probably. We're just going to have fun. So check us out. I think we'll be up there the whole weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And if we get everything set up on Friday, maybe we'll do a quick park activation there too. So.
Well, actually, all of our field day contacts will also be park contacts. So
That is true. That's going to be a logging nightmare.
yeah, we can make it work. So,
I'm sure.
There's Clam Lake, and
we're somewhere down there.
If it's enhance, enhance. It's.
You're right about there. We don't want to give it all away.
No, we're in that vicinity near Clam Lake.
if you could actually get a vehicle out there, well, no, the one road is paved, but the other roads are.
Yep. So it's a big open field. It's going to be a lot of fun, and if we're lucky, the mothership will come and take us away.
Or at least take me away. I've lived a good life. I'm ready to go.
So yeah, it should be good. It'll I don't know, we still have to figure out, we got to figure out club call transceivers, and how many stations we're going to have up and things like that. But listen for us. I'll throw out some messages as we get closer to the date so that you can catch us on field day. So, but with that, I think that kind of gets us into the second half of what we were talking about.
You know what really grinds my gears?
There we go.
And what grinds your gears tonight, Joe?
Oh, well, it's field day. Yep, I'm gonna go there. We're gonna open up this can of worm, guys, and so is field day an emergency communications exercise or a contest? Make up your mind, ARRL. Yeah, I'm talking to you guys, the guys that get $50 a year to. Make up your mind. If it's an emergency communication exercise, why we got points? Why we got points for all this? Oh, you get bonus points. Oh, more bonus. That sounds like a contest to me. Everyone treats it as a contest too, right? Half of the people treat it as a contest, and half of us, and not necessarily me. Oh, this is a emergency communications exercise, and we need to show off our abilities to the public. Yeah, it's a hobby. I don't know, but here's the deal, guys. One or the other. Let's make two separate things. Let's make the actual emergency communications exercise one day and the summer contest another day. Let's split this up, because I think trying to treat both on one, I think it gets to the point where you just can't do it anymore. That's kind of my thought on that. It's like
Yep.
there's contesters that are just going to park and bark, and we know they're not running 150 watts, guys. I saw that rule change.
That's right.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, I'll hear all those amplifier clicks still going on the last weekend in June.
We heard a lot of those amplifier clicks on Winter Field Day.
Yep.
So.
So that's really it. Is that I think at this Field Day is a great amateur tradition.
Yes.
It's a homecoming, really.
I was going to say, yeah, it's a big party. It's a homecoming.
Clubs get together, like the guys they haven't seen in a while. There's always a big spread of food. There's some chili usually involved, and you know what happens with chili, right? You got your own source of power there. But you gotta kind of I think at this point in time, either have like an emergency communications exercises, and then have a contest. But if you have both, it's neither one nor the other. It does become the homecoming. It is the big club event. It's a big showcase,
everything in the kitchen sink is out there.
Yeah, like guys bring out everything. You get the generators out there, and the campers, and hey, our club bought a bus. We got a bus out there.
We got a bus out there.
Yeah, or the trailer, comm trailers. Yeah, this is our emergency communications trailer. But we're having a contest this weekend.
It gets used for Field Day.
Yeah, I know. It really gets to a point where I think maybe it's time to separate this, guys. Let's start talking about this. And but regardless, get out there at the end of this month, have fun,
Mm-hmm.
and may the best radio win.
Yeah. I thought it wasn't a contest.
Oh, but I thought it wasn't an emergency communication exercise either. Yeah. So,
5959. Good luck in the contest.
Right. Everyone's 59 at the
Field Day
communication contest, right? The emergency communication contest. There we go. Let's just go.
Practice my exchange. 59. Thank you. Easy Field Day.
Wow. Yeah, we're really passing traffic now. Everyone's 5'9". So yeah, that's my gear grinding for tonight.
It's a public contest. So.
Oh, the daughter's down here again. She's looking at me because she wants to start the washing machine.
All right. Well, you better. She's got to get packed up.
She has a life to get to. Everyone, Megan, come here. Well, she's going to start to wash her, so that means I probably got to start signing off here.
Well, it's about that time anyway, so I think we solved the world's problems for another month, and we had some great questions. Sorry we couldn't get to everybody, but we'll try to. Maybe we can try to follow up as many as we can afterwards and cover them in like a video, or I'll make a note for next month too. But
exactly.
Just want to remind you, our next live stream will be Thursday, July 7th at 7 p.m. Central Time. And
well, it'll be after the 4th.
After the 4th, correct.
So you have all your fireworks burnt up by then, I assume.
Most of them. So might have to take a trip. Maybe on our way home.
Here she is.
Maybe on our way home from Field Day, we'll pick up some fireworks.
School is tomorrow too, so of course she's a little wound up. And then she's going to grandma's for a week.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Fun.
Hopefully, by the time this gets sorted out, she's just down there all summer, right?
Last day of school. Oh, man. All right. So thanks, everybody. Thank you, Ivan from Chile. It's good to see you in there at the end. Better late than never. So with that, everybody, you have a great rest of the evening. Have a good field day, and hope to see you again here in July. But I'm Michael, KB9 VBR.
And I'm Joe. Now Victor 31 Juliet X-ray 73.
73.